Hello Scorpio, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your Grand Occult reading for 2023. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So these are timeless readings, okay? And basically what we're going to be looking at together is we're going to look at what is going to be the main overall theme for you, what you have to, kind of pay attention to, what you have to kind of escape from. So it doesn't matter if you get cards like the Tower or the Devil. These are just, warning signs of what could be occurring within your life in 2023, but on a massive level. For example, the Emperor doesn't always just have to be someone with authority within your life. It can actually be talking about, the president or the emperor of a country. So we're going to be looking at things from a much higher perspective, not really general, not really love, but see how it applies to your life, okay? So one card for the sign of Scorpio. What do we need to know for you? We have the Hanged Man. So the theme for this is self-sacrifice to find enlightenment for yourself. So giving up on things that you truly want to see the bigger picture, to see the grand scheme of things, to see things from a different perspective as well. So when we look at the Hanged Man energy, this can be almost like, you see something that you truly desire within your life and the universe decides to hang you upside down and say, nope, see it from a different perspective. Why can't you have that right there? Now, maybe these are things that you've had to do within your life a lot right here. Maybe you've never been able to get what you want, but reflect on that situation. Why have you never been able to get what you want? Is it healthy for you? Is it something that you were supposed to have? Why can't you have it? Does it lead you to heartbreak? Does it lead you to misery? Does it lead you to, some sort of depravity? Why has the universe always protected you from something that you truly desire right here? And that's what you have to understand with the Hanged Man is it's like whenever you go into like this self-sacrifice mode or this Hanged Man mode, giving up on things that you truly want within your life, why is that the reason? What? And I'm not saying that everything's not going to work out for you, but I see that, Scorpio does come from a place of lust, intense lust, all right? Intense passion and intense emotion. It's almost like something can consume you from the inside out. You see something that you want, a person, a place, or a thing, and it's like, I must have it. And the universe is saying, when you get to feeling like that, it's going to hang you upside down by your foot and say, why can't you have that? And you're going to be struggling and you're going to be feeling these really deep, intense emotions like, I don't know why I can't have it, but I truly want it. I need it in my life. And the universe is saying that's not the answer. Why can you not have that? And if you hang there for a little bit and you settle down and you work through the shadow emotions, that shadow work right there, when you work through those really intense, deep emotions, these ocean currents are going to start, kind of calming down. And you'll see it from a grand perspective. You'll start saying, well, if I went after that with all of my heart, I would leave all of these things that I built for myself, right? Like I said in Libra's reading, and I say a lot, when life goes good, the devil always sends a man or a woman to mess it up. Maybe you're doing really good within your life, and then all of a sudden there's that siren energy that comes peeping up, right? And all it's there to do is destroy everything that you've built for yourself, to make you not get a good night's sleep, to kind of break your heart. So that way you go into like this self-destruction sign. Because here's the thing, Scorpio. This is a hard thing for you to understand. Things get destroyed really easily within your life because you rule destruction, you rule death, right? And so your hardest part within life is fighting those intense emotions to have stability within your life. Remember, the King of Cups sits in the ocean on a platform. He sits on this watery, it could be a watery grave, Davy Jones' locker, right? And he's sitting on this platform and everything is smooth, right? He has stability within the ocean. And that's what you have to understand is that you're working for stability within the ocean. The ocean might be treacherous and you might just say, see that siren out in the ocean? I'm going to jump straight into this right here. But you're not seeing how treacherous the ocean is. As long as you're on the platform, things are okay. And that's kind of like being in that Hanged Man energy. It's like, all right, I understand that I'm having these deep, intense feelings. I can see the danger. I understand that if I jump off of this platform, I'm going to be leaving my throne. I'm going to be leaving the safe space for something that I don't even know truly exists. So let's look at this Hangman energy. What do we need to know? So sometimes it's better to stay within that stability of what you have and what you know, the things that you've worked for, because just as easily as you jump out into the ocean, all of it could be destroyed. But as long as you're staying there, you're fine. It's just working through deep, intense emotions. A lot of shadow work for 2023. But here's the thing. The universe is trying to protect you each and every time. It's not that the universe is punishing you, saying you just can't have that because I don't like you, Scorpio. The universe is trying to show you why you can't have it. Why you have these such deep, intense emotions of lust and like passion, and how they can just consume you as an individual. It's kind of like a learning lesson. Because here's the thing, what's being offered that sets you up like that, that sets you into that, deep despair energy, it's not good for you. If it makes you have restless nights, if it makes you hurt internally, if it makes you just, if it consumes you, then you automatically know that it's a lustful desire. You automatically know that it's bad for you, okay? Because the things that you're supposed to have will just come into your life. It's not something that you're going to have to struggle with. You're a fixed sign, right? With the fixed signs, things are supposed to naturally come to them. They come at a much slower pace because they're not supposed to be fast-paced things. They're supposed to be well-crafted, put together items that you can exchange with. And yes, sometimes it takes much longer for fixed signs to find love. Sometimes it takes much longer for fixed signs to have good things come into their life, right? But the whole point is that the devil wants you to jump in and get off of your throne and do what you want to do and leave your kingdom in ruin. You have the Six of Wands, victory. You have the Knight of Pentacles in reversed. And you have the High Priestess. Here's the thing, you have victory within your life. The universe is showing you that when it puts you upside down and says, sit here and look, that's victory for you. Those intense emotions that you feel, when the universe says, feel those emotions and we're going to keep you safe, that's the victory. Think of it not from I can't have that perspective, oh my gosh, everything's just terrible. Think of it as well, I can't have that, so there's a reason I can't have that. That's the victory right there. I'm following my divine purpose within my life. I'm in tune with the universe right here. The universe is not going to just hurt me, okay? With the Knight of Pentacles, if you rush into a situation, you'll just lose all of your pentacles. Like, you'll lose the King's Gold. You'll get off of your path that you're supposed to be within your life, and you're going to have to start back at square one. That's the whole point, Scorpio. The phoenix does, eventually die and turn to ash, but it's reborn. However, what you have to understand is how long does that phoenix live? You could have a very good life. You could soar like a phoenix throughout your entire life. You don't have to die until the day that you die. But Scorpio has this problem where it dies constantly throughout its life, instead of just soaring and just being one with the universe and just being this phoenix, right? Just being this blazing fire in the sky. Phoenixes live for thousands of years before they die, turn into ash before they're reborn, right? The High Priestess is saying, see it from High Priestess perspective. Hindsight is 20/20, all right? High Priestess energy is wanting you to look at the situation and saying, yeah, if you rush after this, look at how your life gets destroyed and look at your life previously. Now, are these intense emotions new to you? Because I doubt that they are, Scorpio. I have a feeling that these intense emotions you've dealt with a lot before. Have these intense emotions ever actually worked out for you, or have they always kind of left you in ruin? So if you feel these intense emotions and the universe says, no, grab you by the foot kind of thing, and, hold you in suspension, that is the Six of Wands. That is your victory. The universe is not trying to allow you to jump into the water and kill yourself. So what is the Six of Wands? And remember, the hanged man, when he's hanged by his foot, he's not hanged by his neck. That's what's important, okay? He's not going to die. He's just being put in timeout for a period of time, whether he is in self-suspension or whether the universe has put him there, so he can get a clear head about him, so he can see things from a different perspective. And yes, he kind of looks stupid, especially when other people are getting married and other people are having kids and other people are doing these things. The universe is saying, hold on. And here's the thing about the hanged man is that it's in a different symbol. Look at the hanged man and see what symbol you can come up with, okay? And then once you see that symbol, because I'm not going to give that answer away. But once you see that symbol, what does it mean? What is that number? It is a number. Ace of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles. So the Six of Wands has the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is also moving very slowly. It's Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy sits on its throne as well. King of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, right? What's being offered to you is slow moving, but it is an emotional wellspring of abundance, all right? The Ace of Cups is an eternal cup that's overflowing forever. It just takes time for it to come in with the Queen of Pentacles energy because Capricorn takes its sweet ass time. Lovers with the Emperor with the Knight of Pentacles. You have to just sit there and allow these things to come in. Now, when I say sit there on your throne, okay, I'm not saying to you to just not do anything, to be lazy, all right? When I say sit there on your throne, it means go to work, take care of yourself, start eating good food, start, going to the gym, start doing what you got to do, and allow the people to come to you. Don't go chasing them, all right? Sitting on your throne doesn't mean that you are just sitting there doing nothing and you're just like, whatever, I'm just bored. I don't really care. People need to come and worship me. No, that's not the case at all. The Emperor still does stuff behind the scenes, okay? He's still working. He's still signing paperwork. He's still, giving commands, still doing education, whatever. However, he is not getting off of his throne to go and walk in the kingdom and chasing barmaids, okay? The people come to him. The High Priestess, Five of Pentacles with the High Priestess. Yeah, look at it from the High Priestess perspective. How many times have you been put into this destructive poverty phase right here? Because you went out and chased things, Scorpio. Or how many times have you put yourself on, a really bad situation to cater to other people's needs? Maybe your life has always gone good for you, Scorpio, but every time someone comes into your life just kind of like turns upside down. It's like maybe you're not even happy with certain things. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be relationships, but you have a good heart. You have a good heart. You want to help people. You do want to rush out and, kind of be that fixed water energy, that fixed emotional energy. But how many times has that hurt you? Now, I'm not saying to, not help people. It's be smart about how you help people. The Chariot, the Three of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. The Chariot is coming down to give you a celebration because of your hard work. All right? So continue to be, this master mason. Continue to craft the things in your kingdom. Continue to work on your wealth. Because at the right moment, the Chariot is coming down to allow you to celebrate. Here's the thing, Scorpio. You will have time to celebrate. Those situations will come to you, though. It will be like, for example, say you're working really well. You've decided that you want to go to medical school. You become a doctor. You're working as a doctor, and then another doctor says, hey, we're having a New Year's celebration. Would you like to come to our New Year's celebration? Well, now you're going to be amongst other professional people. You're going to be amongst other doctors, other nurses, other anesthesiologists, other just really professional people. And it doesn't have to just be within this one hospital. It could be, all these people who are just really well-learned, knowledgeable people, right? And you'll go to that and you'll celebrate. Instead of, well, I'm just going to be sad on New Year's and I'm just going to go and hang out at this one bar and see what I can get. No, that's not for you, Scorpio. That's not what you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have much more. You're supposed to be a fixed sign, doing professional things at a professional level and making professional contacts and building up. All right, you're not the knights and you're not the queens. You're the kings. All right, fixed signs are kings. Justice energy, balancing out of the scales, balancing out heartbreak. And the Nine of Swords. If you rush into a situation, you get balanced out with the Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Okay? However, if you don't rush out into that situation and you work through these intense emotions, you don't have to really deal with the Nine of Swords. It's almost a little bit damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. Because on one end, you want to chase something, and on the other end, you know that you can't have it, but it still hurts you. So that's kind of why Scorpio kind of lives in like this anguish mode throughout their lives, is it's like they want to chase things, but they can't. So here's the thing. Turn the anguish into improvement. And that sounds hard to do, but that is what you have to do. When you get those deep, intense emotions, go work out. Okay? Take that intensity into something else. Go play an instrument. Go on a run. Go on that walk. Go do some push-ups, go meal prep. Go get your mind off of it. Don't just wallow and sit there in a chair and be like, oh, poor me. No. Use that as a driving factor, Scorpio. That's what you have to understand about those emotions are actually driving factors to get you to where you are supposed to be. Remember, the Emperor is representation of Aries energy. You and Aries co-rule the tower together. War brings death, right? So you're connecting to this Emperor energy. You are supposed to be at a much higher level than what you think you're supposed to be on. Scorpios can actually be homeless a lot of the times. They can be drug addicts a lot of the times. They can be bitter people. They can be jaded. They can be miserable. A lot. They can be put in really bad situations and stay in those situations for years on end and become very manipulative, vindictive, and hateful and spiteful people. But then there are Scorpios who ascend who don't do that, who are just really passionate individuals who want to be monogamous, who just want to, find love and have a good life and want to be with this one person and want to, grow things. And it's kind of like, have you ever heard the Love Song for a Vampire by Annie Lennox? I think she's the same lady who did Sweet Dreams Are Made of These. It's a very pretty song, okay? Scorpios are very swan-like creatures. A lot of people say Scorpios are the scorpions, evil, whatever. But I really view scorpions as like the black swans. They mate for life. They're beautiful. They have their own pond. They're very territorial. They're very jealous. Mother swans, father swans are very, very protective of their young. But at the same time, a swan doesn't mate with a duck. Well, maybe they do, I don't know. But a swan doesn't, mate with a seagull. There. It stays in its lane. And sometimes it takes a very long time for them to meet up. Sometimes you have to go to a different pond. And it can be very hard to see, other swans mating and whatnot, or seeing other animals being together. But that's the thing, is like Scorpio, you have to really deal with those emotions, all right? Just know that what you're building is for the betterment of your future. Use that driving factor to make something really good. So, let's look at your spellcasting oracle cards. You have finding, career. I feel like if you throw yourself into your career this year, it'd be really good for you. Finding hope in your career, finding the encouragement to continue to move forward, finding, what you need to move forward. And you know what? It's funny. A lot of Scorpios can actually marry partners who are like 5-6 years younger than them. Just a thing, You work so hard, you get to the top, and then all of a sudden you meet a muse who's like 5 or 6 years younger, and you always thought you wanted to date someone who was your age or older. I don't know what it is about Scorpios, but that's like generally the case. So what's going on? What do we need to know? You have urgency and addiction. Yeah, you're addicted to those feelings. You're addicted to that because you roll the genitals, right? And what happens when people get horny? They feel lustful. Turn that urgency energy, that I must have that energy, that addiction, into something very positive for yourself, okay? Don't turn it into something that consumes you and like eats you from the inside out to where I have to have it. I'm going to throw everything away to get that one person who's probably bad for me. Focus on what you were supposed to do, okay? Focus on your career. On your money. And it doesn't have to be in a love situation. It could be, you know, you want to get that job to go across the country, but it might be bad for you. Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes, owl, wise seeing, wise action. That phoenix energy is right there. Skull of Flowers. So, say you just had a really bad ending, right? Now you're creating through the ashes. You're being reborn as that phoenix. Now you have the information of what is going on within your life. So this time, be a little bit smarter. Don't be the phoenix that settles, you know, goes down and is with the magpie. Be a phoenix, all right? And maybe you fall for magpies all the time. Wise seeing, wise action with the owl. It would be much better for you if you were a phoenix to settle down with an owl, because owls are wise. They were the familiars of Minerva or Athena. Like if you are going to settle for something, settle with the owl and not the magpie, okay? Because at least they provide wise seeing, wise action for you. Dance. Move your body. Don't get depressed and just sit there and wallow. Move your body. Shine on. Get some sunlight. I know a lot of people don't like getting sun. I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, what if it tans my skin? What if I get darker? Blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Not getting sunlight will drive you crazy. It'll drive you up a wall. And at the end of the day, who fucking cares? People who are meant for you will be in your life regardless of if you have a tan or not. I like going out in the sun. I really do. I just burn really easily. So well, these two cards came out. You have Nadha's need, needs self-restraint, disappointment, avoidance of greed, patience, and simplification. Spiritual meaning is asceticism, which is self-sacrifice, transcendence, and the soul. So you have to have self-restraint and understand the disappointment. Rado, wagon, travel, communication, decisive action, reunion, and progress. Spiritual meaning is inner path and destiny. So focus on your destiny. Avoidance of, you know, things that are toxic. Avoidance of greed. Have patience. Wait for the things that are brought to you, Scorpio. So we lose strength, success in all ventures, good health, and speedy recovery. You know, here's the thing. It won't last forever. If you move your body and you get some sunlight and you go outside, I know it's wintertime, like I do. But like, you know, on the good days where there is sunlight, just bundle up and go outside for a little walk. Get some good, you know, fresh air, move your body. Okay, it'll be all right. Going on a walk will really help you, Scorpio, to contemplate what's going on in your mind. And if anything, just get a gym membership and go walk on the treadmills for an hour every other day. Walk at your own pace. Put in your headphones. No one's going to bother you at the gym, and just walk on a treadmill. That's honestly something that Scorpios need to like really think about right there. It's like, you know, a lot of people associate Scorpios to vampires, and vampires like to walk. They like to pace. Maybe that's something that you need to do. Maybe you're someone who needs to walk and you don't know that. Maybe you like to walk and you don't know that yet. Just try it out. Try it out for like a week. Get on the treadmill or just go on a little walk outside. Maybe you could do it around afternoon time before the sun sets. Whatever it is, try to get 30 minutes of walking. Or maybe just take a jazz dance thing, jazzercise, whatever. I don't fucking know. Take Pilates if you can't really walk. Take some yoga. Get into those types of things, Scorpio. I know a lot of people, they kind of make fun of other people. It's like, I would never wake up at 4 a.m. to go do yoga and then drink matcha tea and, you know, eat all organic and then go to work and shower, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. That works for them. It does. They're on their own path. And maybe, Scorpio, that's something that you need to be doing. Maybe you are one of those people deep at heart and you just don't know it yet. maybe it will actually change your life. You know, Adele, when she went through her really bad breakup, she said, I went to the gym for like 6, 7 hours a day. She would just go to the gym. And she says she found herself. She found her confidence. She found, you know, who she was. And she hadn't ever found who she was before. She's in her 30s. That's something right there. So anyway, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't let these emotions get to you. Just understand you have to do shadow work the most, because guess what? You're the sign of death. So you're going to have to do a lot of shadow work within your life. In fact, you should be a master of shadow work by now. Well, maybe not by now. Maybe you're just starting out on your path. But understanding shadow work is going to be very integral. You can use the shadows as a driving factor to get exactly what you want within life and have a really, really good life, Scorpio. Okay? So just understand that the Hanged Man is here. It's Piscean energy. It's your fellow water sign. It's Neptunian energy. It's the wisest of the signs. It's the oldest of the signs. All right? Well, not the wisest, but the oldest of the signs. It's been through the loop. And it's trying to teach you the lesson of who you are in this lifetime. It's trying to teach you, hey, Scorpio, you're a Scorpio. You are the sign of death. You are the sign of shadows. You are the sign of shadow work. You're going to have to get a grip on these emotions and understand that they can be the best and most powerful driving factor out of all the signs. So, anyway, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later.